Brittany, and I like anime.
I'm Ross Everett, and it's not my cut of sashimi.
I think you did that one.
Don't you fuck.
Welcome to Anime Club. This week we watched Eden of the East. How did you like it, Ross?
It was good.
It was good.
It was good.
It was good.
Quickie review. I love this kind of stuff where you don't know what's going on and it slowly unfolds. There was nothing there that was just like, oh, this is so contrived and gimmicky. I mean, like, there are 11 episodes in this anime. I watched the first 2 just to get a feel for it, and I am so intrigued. It feels like Jason Bourne meets America. I don't know. This whole thing's set in America, which also threw me for a loop. Oh yeah, well, like the beginning, the first.
Yeah, like they go back to Japan. Did you? I fell asleep on the part where they went back to Japan.
In my mind, they're still in America because he keeps making references to Meg Ryan movies.
Yeah.
And how in Japan did they get a picture at Ground Zero, which was. I was like, these people are romanticizing, like having like this really romantic moment.
Well, it was Ground Zero in Japan from the missile attack.
Yeah, but they had the lights going up too.
Well, they were
like,
I think they were like searchlights.
Yeah, but she's like, oh, I wanted to go to Ground Zero and I didn't get to it. And he's like, well, why don't we recreate 9/11 in our hearts? And, like, it was so weird. And like they're joking about being a terrorist in the airport. Like, and I found all of that stuff to be like funny because it's taboo. Like, you're not supposed to do it, and they just dove right into it.
They did. So Eden of the East follows a man who wakes up and has no memories, but he has a cell phone. They call him Number 9, and he has $8.2 billion at his disposal.
8.2 billion yen, which is $47.
At his disposal. That's rude. You're right. It is yen, though. And then a girl who's just on a trip to the White House, and she's going to throw a coin into the fountain.
And, like, first of all, she goes, oh, man, that's like 100 yards away. And then Tom
I have
Brady,
to try!
Yeah, I'm going to try this anyway.
Yeah. And it goes nowhere. And surprisingly, you can't throw shit at the White House without getting harassed. So some guards come and they harass her, and a dude streaks to distract them.
Yeah, I thought was
almost attacks them with a gun.
Weird of him. He's like, oh, I'm naked. Like, he kind of takes in the whole scene, has no memory, and decides, like, I'm naked, I have a cell phone and a gun. Hey, look at that girl over there. I should help her out.
Yeah!
I should take care of her first.
And by helping her out, he doesn't, like, shoot the patrolmen who are coming to hassle her. He's just like, hey, over here! Whee!
It doesn't get the concept of cars or traffic.
Nope.
Hopping in there. And then, I mean, like, the favorite part of the first episode, at least, was when the cop was like, can I show me your Johnny? And it was so casual.
I'm gonna need to see your Johnny.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, that must mean his passport.
Right, we Googled it thinking like it meant passport or it must be like ID.
What a casual way to ask to see a man's penis. And then he complies so willingly.
I know, but then he does it and like it's like so weird because he's like, he gets out of being in trouble by looking exactly like the dude in the photo because it's him, but being like, well, my dick's way bigger right now, so it's just like, oh, it is, you can go.
Lady cop is like, has no idea about like anatomy or anything.
Nope.
Like, it shrinks when it's smaller. She's like, well, those don't look the same.
You can go.
Free. Click. That's for mama. She was so turned on by it. That was like, but at the same time, it all felt very grounded in this world that they created. So I've got no qualms about it.
I like that we don't quite know the police officer that's following him. Did you catch on his cell phone that he's number 4?
Oh, I didn't. Oh, that is cool. But I figured that he was one of the saviors or whatever they call them, just because
he has juice.
Well, that also, but he has the phone and he goes, oh, finally one that's worse than me. So like you figure like he's in there, he's in that same world. I mean, like, it's really interesting.
I don't know if he's gonna kill him or what, because then they run into each other at the subway station and he's like, all right, cool, see you later. And like lets him go. And you're like, what? He knows it's him because he showed him his phone. What the hell?
Are they on the same team? Are
I
they
don't
not?
know.
And also, can all of the saviors see the other saviors' expenses? Or is that a hack?
Here's the thing. It seems like only he can do it, but also number 9 doesn't know how to use his phone yet.
No.
So maybe he just doesn't know how to access
figuring it out.
what all the other stuff is happening.
I was noticing this, like the first thing I noticed off the bat was the really cool logo of their secret society is scales and a sword. And I was just like, God, scales are cool. Like, if you're gonna build a secret society, put scales in your logo because it's like justice, balance, like very cool. It makes you feel like you're doing something noble.
Yeah. So I really liked Eden of the East. I'll definitely finish it. There are other Eden of the East series. So we could keep going with that if we wanted to, because they seem really, really popular and really cool. They're very interesting, and I'd love to finish it. What about you?
Oh, definitely want to finish this one. This jumps actually to the top of my list.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's like the other things have been cool and fun, but the story hasn't grabbed me so much as this has. Still, I'm on Doctor Who. I'm almost done with Doctor Who, and then I'm going into this. So if you're tweeting at me being like, have you finished them yet? I haven't finished one of them yet, but I am intrigued. And the whole point of this show was like, I know nothing about anime, and I'm going to have to change my thing. Maybe in the new year, I'll have to change my thing to not so much that I'm not into anime anymore, because I definitely have a respect for it and have enjoyed some of them authentically. So that's... came a long way from calling a guy a robot and getting yelled at.
Bing! All right, next week we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and we're going to be watching an OVA, Kite.
Ooh, Kite. So if you guys want to join us on Anime Club, you can go to netflix.com/SourceFed. It gives you 1 free month of instant streaming, and it helps you out, helps the show out. Very cool. Watch the anime, film yourself reviewing it, and upload it to YouTube with hashtag SFNKite. We'll find it, and we'll put you guys at the end of the video just like these people.
Week 4 without a hypersexual anime. Woo! For a while, I didn't know if I was gonna really like the show or not, but like the last scene of episode 2 just piqued my curiosity because it just got so much more real, like really quickly, because I'm not gonna say why, but it just made me want to go watch more.
The art style is quite good. I tend to find that the characters have got quite fat faces, and every time I look at Kawasaki, every time... Have I just been saying Kawasaki? I meant Takazawa. Fuck it. Anyway, every time I look at Takazawa's face, I can't help but imagine his face is kind of like a monkey's to a certain extent.
I suppose I was rather partial to the relationship evolving in this, which is unusual for me, because I'm usually in it for the TNA, but I don't know, I found this kind of sweet and adorable, so maybe I'm growing as a person. I doubt it. It's way more likely that I just have a god complex and would be thrilled at the idea of making anything happen with my cell phone.
Akira doesn't know what's going on. And this girl the whole time is just like, oh, I just met you today and I'm really into you, and just because your birthday is 1 day after mine, same year, I think it's fate. I think it's destiny. No, it's not. It's fake passport.
Now the animation is top notch, with great cinematography in my opinion, and the characters are so real and so down to earth. The only technical problem I had was the American voice acting in the first episode. It sounded like they just grabbed any old American off the street.
There is censoring when we first meet Akira since he is naked, and the censor on it I think is actually much more distracting than if they had just drawn his junk. Or they could have gone the typical anime route and just inconspicuously hid it behind various things. There's a lot of weird penis jokes in the first episode too. That was really awkward and uncomfortable for me.
The amnesia thing is really overdone in my opinion. It's overdone in video games, it's overdone in anime series, movies. I get that it's an easy tool for character development. At the same time, it's just done too much in my opinion. Other than that, I like pretty much everything else about this series so far in the first 4 episodes. Like I said, I'll be continuing to watch the series. I like that it's kind of like a psychological thriller.
As long as the ending isn't too disappointing, hey, I might even be willing to watch the sequel. Eden of the East next, movie or something, whatever. Wait, I think they had movies, didn't they? Or was that a different one? I don't know. I'm watching a lot of anime lately. School's almost out, so yeah, instead of studying, I'm watching more anime because I can do that.
The story at first was very mysterious, mysteries. No one knew who and where and why and what is with the phone, not even the main character. You learn early on that he wiped his memory, so he doesn't know and nobody knows anything.
Doing a little bit of a different video today. I've got my daughter here.
Hi.
It's almost bedtime, but she wanted to do some recording with me. For the most part, it's an enjoyable series. The characters are enjoyable and likable, but the one thing I wanted to talk about most is voice acting. The voice acting in this will determine the tone of the show very much, between whether you watched it in Japanese or if you watched it in English. If you watched it in Japanese, it's going to have a very different tone than English. But Akira is a little bit more enjoyable in Japanese. So, for the most part, it's enjoyable. It's really likable. There's 2 movies that kind of finish out the rest of the story, and the rest of it gets fleshed out in that, which is really nice.
Thanks, sis.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
What should the end thing
I
be?
don't know. Something with like a cell phone.
I was thinking of us maybe taking a picture and then 9/11 happening in the
Nope.
background.
Not gonna happen.